Hello, and welcome to the Lighthouse Brand Builders Podcast. I'm Peter Wilkin, and I'm here to help you build differentiated, enduring brands and thriving businesses. It's not really a podcast. It's more a series of strategic insights, stories, and secrets of success from a lifetime's career in advertising, brand consulting, and change management. The thread that binds them is brand-centered management, the trademark brand building process and philosophy I developed with my partners at the brand company over 20 years ago, that's since been embraced by thousands of brand professionals and some of the world's most iconic brands. The 4Ds process and brand DNAs have become well known in brand strategy circles. The focus here is practical advice you can apply straight away to your business. It gives you a glimpse inside the Lighthouse Brand Strategy Academy, our online coaching program, where we aim to democratize effective brand strategy. So come with me, take a step inside the virtual lighthouse. Welcome. PLDT was the largest national telephone company, communications company in the Philippines. It was huge. And we were a very young, green, small startup, almost agency, really kind of, as I said, small, out-and-out creative hotshop, just growing, just beginning to build our reputation, built up enough of a reputation to be invited into this very long pitch list of agencies for what would have been the biggest campaign, the biggest client's pitch, probably in 5 years in the country. I mean, this was enormous. It was huge, multi-million dollars. And I did think, and I did talk with my creative partners and say, agency partners, do we want this even if we won it? Because it's so big, it would potentially threaten the culture of the whole organization. If we'd won it, it would have been 50% plus of our revenue of the total agency. And those kind of things can really change the culture and complexion of an organization. And of course, our decision was, being young Turks out there, we can deal with this whale, we can catch it, and we'll change them, and we'll absorb it. So yes, we'll do it. So we entered into the fray with this 8 or 9 other agencies. It was a bit silly, and we got some terrific help from our global, worldwide creative people, and we really locked down and ended up developing this amazing campaign, which I'll share with you in a minute at the end of the story. And very quickly, they whittled the 8 down to 3, and then the 3 were down to 2, and we were one of the 2. It was us against our big enemy, sister JWT, J. Walter Thompson Company, which was a huge, well-established agency in the Philippines, and we were the young, green, upstart Ogilvy little sister, kind of nipping around their heels, really, literally like that. Right. They came and we pitched our idea, and it was clearly an incredibly powerful idea that was going to go gangbusters. And we knew, because we had some inside leads at the very top of PLDT, that they loved the idea, but equally they were scared by it. They also had, and this is the way in which the world works, and no hard feelings, this is just how life happens. They had recently hired a senior expat marketing director who felt really threatened by us. So, we had not done a good enough job of reassuring him that, his role was kind of safe in hindsight. But we kind of knew that, but he had also wanted to kind of put more of his finger on the pulse, and he felt that the Thompson guys were going to do more of what he said than we were, which was probably true. And not even probably, it was definitely true.
Right.
We were much more into telling clients what they needed to hear, as well as just what they wanted to hear, not just what they wanted to hear, which was what pretty much every other agency was telling them. The difference being that, what they needed to hear was really what they needed to hear. But again, done in a constructive way. So we were invited to pitch again. And I said, look, I don't think we should accept this pitch invitation at this point. And my people looked at me and they said, are you mad? We're down to one of the two agencies. It's the talk of the town. It's the biggest piece of business for 5 years. We've done all of this work. It's brilliant, and you're going to say you're going to decline it. And I said, I think we should decline it. And they said, why? Why on earth? And I said, because we should have won it already. It's abundantly clear that we've got the most powerful idea that's going to drive their business. They should have, without a brain, picked us already. They are not picking us for a reason.
Right.
And let us be the bigger people and say it for what it is. That if it's a relationship or a political thing or a tie like that, that's not driven by the work, let us expose it for what it is. By the way, we'd been kind of given the nod from very, very senior up chairman level, who'd flown off on his helicopter for his long weekend retreat, that the idea was outstanding and beat everything else into a cocked hat, and it was loved. So we left very confident knowing that on the inside. Anyway, so they said, look, don't give up on us. We've all worked too hard. We want to go in and do the pitch again. So, I'm an obstinate guy, but I definitely listened and I gave in and I empathized with them and I said, okay, we'll do that. But they said, and we discussed together, we said, look, we don't want to be in the worst situation of all, which has been kind of, thrown a bone of a small piece of this very large piece of business, which is what I think they're going to do. We don't want to split up. We had a small public relations group. We had a great direct marketing team, but very small, nothing like the resource that our competitors Thompson's had at the time. But we were a team and we stuck together. So I insisted and they all agreed that it was all or nothing. We'll go again, but you don't hive off PR or direct marketing or the advertising or things like that. We're all in together or nothing at all. Of course, I got the call after the pitch and it was nothing. Thank you for listening to the Lighthouse Brand Builders podcast. If you found this helpful and want to know more, please visit my website at peterwilkin.com. That's Wilkin with an E at the end. You'll find more free resources, instructional videos, and links there. If you're a CEO or a business owner looking to build your brand, or a brand strategist looking to level up your skills, check out the CBO Masterclass in the Lighthouse Brand Strategy Academy, where you'll be guided through a comprehensive, stepwise process to develop your unique brand DNA and learn the skills to become a certified Chief Brand Officer. If you have any brand or strategy related questions you'd like answered, you can ask them in the showcase notes below. I'll do my best to address them. Thank you and see you next time.